Welcome to Bernice Bisson Psychic. It's Psychic Tuesday with Sweet Bee. And that's my nickname back here in Canada. Everybody kind of knows me as that. And so I'm going to start with a few minutes of astrology because we've got some big stuff coming. And anyone who's had readings with me before knows that I love astrology. I think it's probably the most predictive of any of the tools that we got. And so let's start at the top. So we've got something going on for people, and the cardinal signs very particularly will be impacted the most. And so we've got a full moon in Libra coming up on the 29th. What joins it is we have the South Node in Libra and we have the North Node in Aries. And in this lunar axis, when we have Libra moons, full and new moons, and we have Aries full and new moons, they're within 2 weeks of each other. It's called karma and destiny. And so in Libra, we have the South Node of karma. Now, if you go Google all of that, you're going to go down a whole bunch of rabbit holes. And there's some really great astrologers out there. So I just feel like if you have any sort of faster moving planets on that sign, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, the Moon, I would look that up. The South Node of karma in Libra is our new moon coming up. In Libra, it's a bit of a reset button for Libras. Joining there, we've got the Sun, we've got Mars, we've got the South Node. We'll have a full moon in Aries sort of tailing on some of this with this energy. So the new moon's going to be a reset button, particularly relationships, things that we didn't see maybe coming up for a lot of people, particularly fixed and cardinal signs. So I feel like I've got a few air signs and water signs in there. So I will say to you this, be patient with people in relationships. Don't jump to any conclusions. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because in this energy, we can get ahead of ourselves. We can find that we're maybe dreaming about relationships, thinking about what's going on with relationships, making up scenarios in our head about relationships and as this new moon, there's things we don't see that will come to light within 6 months. So I feel like just be really mindful about this. It's about exploring what you actually want in relationships. Self-assertion and compromise. Aries in the North Node is very driven. It's sort of on the same lunar axis, and it's a very driven energy that hurry up, and patience, wants things done, wants to move ahead, wants to move forward, wants to move up in this energy. And so Libra's reminding us of that indecisiveness, maybe a bit of that compromising energy, which will be really important coming up, because we've got a couple of other big stuff. My magic little book of astrology, that's coming up. We've also got Mercury in Virgo, and it moves to Libra in October. So joining this plethora of planets and celestial bodies, we have Mercury, communications. And it's going full speed ahead. And so having to negotiate, compromise, mediate. If you're looking to negotiate a legal process, negotiate a contract process, this would actually be the good time to do it. Mercury's direct. Libra is all about negotiations, communications, and making peace, not war, right? And then we've got Venus in Leo till about October 8th. When Venus moves into Virgo, it's about expressing physically love, and not just sex, but also the doing for. I will do for you. And with this energy in Libra, and we've got Venus moving to Virgo, love becomes a very sort of expressive, generous, thoughtful, present, material. It becomes very real for a lot of people, and things that have been maybe a bit esoteric for the last few months will become very real for people in relationship, and either you're in or you're out. And this Libra season will show us that, especially when the conversations with Mercury starts to move there. The next place that I would also be really mindful about showing up for people is we've also got Saturn and Neptune still retrograde in Pisces. To me, that's always the illusion of things. Things become way more complicated than they need to be. And it's because of hidden aspects. Oh, my self-esteem. Oh, I didn't feel valued. Oh, I didn't feel like I could speak up. I didn't feel like I could do anything about it. And so it creates a bit of confusion and passive aggressiveness. And so it kind of adds that to this whole relationship mix that we're feeling, that it's a bit mercury still, mur- murky, because they're retrograde for a bit. And so it's still kind of slowing down insight, really not getting fast and clear insight into relationships. But the big story, this is the big story, and it's going to start with a direct of Pluto. So Pluto's going to station around October 10th, and it's going to go direct. Pluto's a thug. He's the god of the underworld. He's power and revolution. He governs Scorpio. He governs the United States. He's a powerful little guy. And so he's retrograde in Capricorn, but when he stations and goes direct, he's at about 27 degrees of Capricorn. Now, what does that mean, B? Well, that means since June 11th, when he stationed at 29 degrees, it means we're going to go through a few more things around intense events globally that are a bit shocking and revolutionary. Not much fun for some people because it comes with conflict, and so we have to be really mindful to be patient, because this 27 degrees of Capricorn, as it stations globally, we'll see some kind of an uptick in conflict, and so we have to be really mindful about that. Some patience, because it's really a lot of revolutionary force, and so opinions, forcing forcing things on people, forcing ideas on people. Just you might be in environments where that's showing up. So that Libra energy to smooth things over, negotiate, and try to come from a peacemaking environment. Try to come from a place where we have to be patient and mediate and walk through processes. We're not going to be able to jump ahead of ourselves. And so uh, the last piece that I'm going to kind of leave people with is this next 2 weeks. You know, Uranus, I didn't really mention Uranus. He's in Taurus, and he's being a bit of a jerk, and he seems to have a couple of showdowns in the next 3 weeks. Now, we're going to see shocking things showing up in the media. They're going to escalate very quickly. We've had tastes of that over the last couple of weeks with, allegations of celebrities and things that are all showing up around that. I can definitely go into detail, but I only got so much time. And so surprising things. So I would say the next 3 weeks, particularly for fixed and cardinal signs, be really mindful about unexpected having to move, changing job, unexpected shifts and things that will be kicking you into your future. It's like if you started like a job and you weren't really happy with it, those foundations will shake. And then there's like some firm decisions. November, as planets start to go direct, particularly Pluto, will start to feel that. We'll be able to make decisions, move forward with decisions, because whatever we're putting in place is going to be in here for a while. So that's Sweet Bee's astro report, and a little bit of the astral weather going on out there. Be nice and patient with each other. Super important. Now, I'm going to go to some calls. I've got, I believe, Ginger in Florida. Hey, my Florida gal, where are you?
I'm right here.
Lovely.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Now, I only have a few minutes with you, and I want to cram as much as I can and be as helpful as I can in those few minutes. Do you want me to focus somewhere?
Focus on my son. He's got some stuff going on, and it's making
Okay, don't tell me about your son. No problem. Don't tell me anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on your son. Bring him to mind like he's stepping forward for you, like you see him and you're talking to him and you're telling him what you need to tell him in your mind. Okay? Okay, my love?
Okay.
And we're going to just kind of try to bring him in and see what spirit wants us to see around your son. Okay. So the last 3 years around your son shows up in really difficult ways. And I'm sure you already are aware of that, Miss Ginger.
Yeah.
There's things around places he gets stuck in. like healthcare places, treatment places, um, things that are like mandated services. He seems to get kind of stuck in a few places. There's,
Yeah, with people.
yeah, he has a big chip on his shoulder right now, so he's not listening to nobody.
Exactly.
Sorry, Ken.
It's 100% on spot on.
Nah, he's not listening to nobody. Do you mind if I ask just the day and month of his birthday?
Uh, 9/27.
Oh, okay. So we're like at his birthday. Your little Libra. We just finished talking a bit about the South Node of Carmen Libra. So, Libras are funny little creatures because they can be very, very good or they could be very, very naughty. and
I'm sorry. I apologize for my dog
No
barking.
worries. I hear
Sorry.
your dog wants to join in the conversation. Yeah. Um, your dog wants to join in the conversation. He knows, I think, you're concerned. So I'm going to say this. There's conflict with a woman surrounding
Yes,
your son. And
yes,
I feel like if you take her on, you're inviting in a whole bunch of drama. And
yes,
I suspect, my beautiful Ginger, you really don't want, you're like, I just want to live in peace because this is really causing me a lot of stress. And it's going to start to impact you, particularly in your neck, your jaw, your teeth, your eyesight, your head space. And I feel like that stress that's going on there. And this woman connected with your son, I guess, there's a lot of conflict there. And I feel like your son feels pretty tied to it. Like, he I think he's wanting to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like he wants to stick things out in some way, or he can't see himself breaking free from his situation at the moment.
yes,
And I feel like you do have another man around you who is an ally, and he's a bit of an ally to you. Like he can maybe help talk some sense into that son of yours. The other thing going on around your son is there's something about his income, his work, um, that there's changes there for him.
yes,
So he'll be feeling the stress coming at him from a couple of different areas. I feel like he's going to be pressed to make some hard decisions in his life. And once he's made, and I'm talking in the next 2 months to 1 year, and that these decisions are going to be very critical for him to move forward. And I do think that, I think he comes to you with his distress because he's not capable of making decisions right now. And I feel like you're such a godsend to him, really. And that's a hard place to be in because I know your son, right? You want to be a mother bear, tear people's eyes out.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm
yeah.
I'm a grandma bear. I'm totally about protection. And so I feel like the best thing you can do for your son is I feel like if you tuck a little bit of money away for him, okay? Just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Every little bit, just I don't care if it's $10 every week, just a little bit away from him. He's gonna need that shortly. Um, to get out of something, to get out of a situation, because I feel like he has no control of who's making the decision. I actually feel like that decision is going to come from this woman, that she's kind of in charge of the decision making at the moment.
Right. Well, there are several women, and one, one. I
I'm
believe what she's
sorry,
told him
sorry,
is
go
not
ahead.
true.
I'm sorry.
Well, one I believe is not true at all. Um, she's trying to trap him.
Yeah. So your son has some really, he's going to have to really sort of be clear and be strong in things. I do think that there's a process around him that, like I said, he's got some tough decisions in him or around him. I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to just say a couple more things if you don't mind, Miss Ginger. There's
Okay.
there's a name like David that keeps coming up that seems important around this conversation that could be helpful. And that I think that the big piece for your son for him to focus on right now are not women because they seem to cause him a lot of problems right now, but is this job change. I think there's something big for him there that could bring him in a good
Okay.
direction. Now,
Okay.
one last thing. Your son is really struggling with a lot of depression.
Okay.
Okay. And I feel like he's overwhelmed and doesn't know. I feel he doesn't know what to do sometimes.
Okay.
Um, so can I ask, did he move to another state from you?
He moved back home just recently, but there may be a possibility he's leaving again.
I think so. I think there is that he's going relocating. So that seems to be showing up, and I feel like you're going to actually hear about that even before March. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
the one girl told him she's pregnant, and I don't think she is. I feel she isn't.
okay. Well, pregnant. There's a choice there for her. Um, I feel like, and it's ironic because I feel like you would know even more by December about that whole situation.
Okay.
And okay, and so I feel like your son, particularly with two women, are going to have some tough decisions in front of him. I'm just saying, and
Okay.
I feel like that I would really be really mindful about because there could be a legal process concerning the young woman who is pregnant. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
With
much.
love, my ginger. I'm giving you a big hug. You're a good mama bear.
Thank you.
And
Thank
well,
you.
you are. You're a good mama bear. And we're going to talk again one day soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Well, think that was nice around Ginger. What a lovely lady. And sometimes we struggle with our kids. And you know what they don't tell us is when we're young women having our beautiful babies, that like the rest of our lives, we're going to worry. The rest of our lives. And I'm speaking as a grandma now who literally still worries about my 30-something-year-old children. And, just like they were 7, doesn't change. Anyway, with love to my good friend Ginger there. Now, we've got Shelly in Calgary. Hey, Shelly.
Hey there.
Well, this is kind of exciting, my fellow Canadian. You're nice. You're in Calgary. And have I ever read you before?
Yes,
Oh, that's kind of exciting. Okay, well let's go with
very.
it then. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you do your thing. I just had a question about legal situation and if it's done.
Okay. So I'm going to think about your legal situation and then we'll see everything else that's going on around you. Okay. All right, Miss Shelley.
Uh,
Let's see what's going on for you. Legal situation, legal situation. Let's see. Calgary, my girl. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like, when we have to endure long periods of having to deal with difficult situations. So now I'm going to say a couple things around this enduring legal situation. There's something really important about a transfer of funds or money that gets solidified. And I feel like once this decision's in place, it's in place for a while, like a few more years, a few more years. Okay. And that
okay.
there's at the outcome of this, there could even be something about money that comes back to you or money that's retroactive. I don't know. There's something important about some financial. I don't think it's you shelling it out, Shelly. So I don't think it's you having to pay it out. But I do think that there's a bit of work to do. And I feel like you have someone across from you who is really challenging. Like this person would sooner you fall off a cliff. Like I got a he, sorry, I don't know. I just feel like there's probably a few people in cases, right? But there's something important about it. I think you'd rather see you fall off a cliff. I don't think that this person is, or this, anyway, I feel like it feels a bit opposed, and I feel like you're kind of stuck in it. You have to keep walking through it. You can't back out. You can't just back off and say, "Oh, never mind, never mind." I just don't think that's a reality. So it feels like you're having still to kind of walk through some of this stuff, and
Yeah.
um, and that's okay, because I feel like the one thing I think, like, do you mind, Shelley, if I just ask the day and month of your birthday? Do you mind if I ask?
June 19th.
Oh, you're a Gemini. 6-1. Okay, that's six. So if I looked at your birthday and added together, I get a karma number 7. That's important because 2023 is a 7. It's a bit of a karma year for you right now. Okay, number 1, Gemini.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you just needed to get mad enough to really, and like, I feel like anger is kind of a good source of energy for you to continue this walk, this journey, this fight, this whatever you're fighting for in this legal piece. And I feel like there's some sort of finances. I actually think you might be surprised if you just endure long enough that there could even be like where you just settle it. And it's like, and they're like, get lost. Like, they're like, don't talk to me again once this is, you know what I mean? So if it
Yeah.
finalizes, oh yeah, this is final, like like whatever relationship and all of this that was connected is like, they're like, that's it. And they're just like, don't bug me again. And I feel like, okay, you're like, okay, fine. And you're walking away from it with what, with, and I feel like it could even come in context of, I don't know, I feel like maybe a transfer payment or something like that. And I feel like then it's said and done. And I don't know that it might even be in lieu of anything ongoing, you know? So it feels like that.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry. Okay, I'll keep talking. And then the other piece I see for you, because I'm going to just be B and keep rolling what I was talking about. I see an opportunity and a decision once, and I feel like between this October and next October, this legal stuff comes to a decision, yeah, a conclusion of some sort, something will be known. And then you're going to entertain a move, and you're going to think about moving and away, moving somewhere. And I'm like, I like it. I like it. And this is going to be all part of the same discussion. Maybe you need the money, or maybe you need this result for you to get out of town, you know? And so you're going to be able to get out of town. And I feel like this time next year, you're going to be in such a different position. And I hope you call me back on the show this time next year. Let's make a date. And
Okay.
you call me back on the show this time next year. And I feel like you'll have this resolved. And I feel like you'll be looking at some sort of move. And I feel like there might be even somebody who gets to move there first. And you're like, I'm coming. Like people would be there, someone will be there, and you're gonna be like, I wanna be there too. I wanna be there too. And I feel like it's funny, I drew an outcome card and I got look at your happy face. So I'm like, woohoo, that looks pretty darn happy to me. With this. And I feel like, how sometimes processes they count on it wearing you down. And I'm
Yep.
like, they underestimated you.
Totally.
Yeah. They underestimated you. Gemini, I feel like whatever settlement you're getting, it's basically to get rid of you. They want to get rid of you. And then you're free, you're able to go. And I'm going to say, there's something really important for you about the West Coast. And I feel like there's something available to you on the West Coast that is going to be um, just what you needed. Just what you needed. Like wherever you're living now in Calgary, there's something lack. You're like, I don't, there's a lack here. And where you're
Yep.
going, I feel like, oh, it's like, oh. And I feel like if you start looking now, there's something that's going to show up for you within 1 year. Within 1 year. And this time next year looks very different for you than where you are right now. And even by spring, you're able to sort of resolve whatever bigger issues are there for you. You do, my girl, have some good friends around you. Okay? I feel like you do have some good gals that maybe you can maybe not call up for advice, but maybe just go, just try to go have a glass of wine with them or something. Just go out for appies or something. Just to kind of get away from things, because I feel like you can almost isolate yourself because you're feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I see, my beautiful Shelley, and thank you for calling in. And remember, 1 year from today, I want to hear from you again. Because I feel like you're going to be in a totally different spot. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
With love, sister. And so thank you, everybody. And you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. My appointments are usually an hour long, so here I'm cramming in a lot. I do psychic and medium work together. I read palms and cards and tea leaves and stuff, and I explore living and deceased, all kinds of stuff. And I'm an astrologer. If you like to explore your natal chart, I'm your gal. And I have a podcast. If you like that kind of stuff, you can find me where you find or download your favorite podcasts. And it's called The Soul Medicine Psychic with Bernice Bisson. And you can hear my previous readings because everybody records them. And I'm definitely going to invite you back for next week to come see me here at askoneradio.com. And they've got lots of great psychics. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your show and evening today.